It is the 41st millennium. Mankind battles for survival across the universe, besieged on all fronts by the heretics, the mutant, and the alien. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. One faction of Space Marines stands amidst the chaos, the mightiest of the Emperor's warriors, and a beacon of light in the darkness. This legion, the 9th Legion of Adeptus Astartes, the Blood Angels. Hello, can you hear me okay? Good evening. I know this is the wrong night. Oh no, I'm not. I was gonna say, I know this is the wrong night. Let me just fix the chat. There we go. Saturday night is not Army List show night, but tomorrow night I've got James Gibb coming back on the channel for a rematch of Dark Angels. I don't think I've played Dark Angels since he was on the channel about a year ago. So James, one of my channel mods, is coming on the channel tomorrow night. So I'm not going to be able to do the Army List show tomorrow night because we're going to be playing Dark Angels. So that should be pretty fun. So that'll be live about 7:30 tomorrow night. It'll be good practice for me as well because I've got the GT in I guess the GT will be in 3 weeks today. So any extra games I can get practice. I think I'm going to try and play Grey Knights as well this week. So I've beaten Eldar, Malice beaten Death Guard, it's now beaten Orcs, Bully Boy Orcs. So if we can beat Dark Angels and beat Grey Knights, then we start to feel maybe semi-confident. So that's what's happening tomorrow night, so tune in tomorrow night. The stream's already there, you can see it, like it, set a reminder, all that good stuff. Michael says, well done on the Orcs game. Yeah, the Orcs game was crazy, Michael. But yeah, finally beating Bully Boy Orcs. Mega Knobs. I will eat my phone. I was going to say eat my hat. I don't have a hat in this room. I will eat my phone if they do not put the points of Mega Knobs up by... I'm guessing Mega Knobs are going up 5 points per model, I would think. Like, what's that? They're 30 points. That would be that would be like an 18% increase. I think they'll be lucky to get away with 5 points per model in the Mega Knobs. Even Miles, are you wanting to play on Wednesday, by the way, Miles? Oh, well, you're going to let me know closer to Wednesday. That's fine. If you can't do this week, we can do next week. Not a problem. What mission deck are we using at the tournament? We're going to use the old missions because pre-order comes out 2 weeks, right, Marius? So the new mission deck will be delivered on the 22nd. I think lists actually need to be submitted on the 21st. So, yeah, I think it's a reach to ask people to play new missions with lists they submitted the day before. So I guess this will be essentially the last ever tournament on the current Leviathan deck. And I think we're probably going to end up using the... I think we're probably going to end up using the points costs that are active right now, because again, if points costs are changing for the new deck, it probably wouldn't make a lot of sense. It always sucks when there's a tournament like 1 week away from the Switch, but because you never know when the Switch is coming, you can't really plan it. Did you do Auspex list last week? No, I looked for it, Aradine. I could do it in a standalone video. But I did look for it. I couldn't find his Blood Angels list. If you have it and you could DM it on me in Discord or something, that would be super useful. I've got 5 lists to look at. Let's get into them because it's Saturday night, so I've got like an hour, and then I have to go and watch something with my wife. And if it takes longer than an hour tonight, she'll kill me. So I want to be alive. So let's jump into this first list. Noble, Actual, 17109, whatever. We've got Chaplain with Terminator Armor. Artisan of War. This is an interesting choice because Artisan of War in this is just going to give him 1 point of AP. You got Dante, you got Lamartis. Okay. Intercessors. A squad of Impulsor. 3 aggressors with Flamers and Power Fists. 1 Death Company Dreadnought, 10 Death Company Marines, 5 Hellblasters. I guess the Hellblasters are in the Impulsor. The Infiltrators, the Librarian Dreadnought, the single Predator Destructor, the 5 Sangre Guard, Terminator Squad, 5 Vanguard Veterans, the Hellblaster and the Impulsor, Dante's with the Sangard, the Death Company in Reserve. Okay, I mean, it doesn't sound too bad. I haven't had a great experience playing Terminators, I must admit. I feel like they're slow, and I'm not sure I feel like they do enough damage. Dante with 5 Sangre Guard is going to be an interesting unit to field, because I feel like I'd almost be tempted to rapid ingress them, because they'll die so friggin' fast. I get your rapid ingress in Lamartes. I'd do that one turn. I'd probably rapid ingress Dante squad the other turn. I think Dante 5 Sangre Guard can get picked off pretty quickly. I ran 10 Sangre Guard this week, and they were picked off in one turn. Like, all 10. I think all that was left after the one round of combat with them was Dante. Like, all 10 died. Yeah. So 5 Sangre Guard seems like it might be quite tough to play. Hellblasters and an Impulsor is kind of quirky. I don't know if I feel like it's worth 195 points. Is 5 Hellblasters and an Impulsor worth 195 points? What can you get for 195 points? Well, you can get a Predator Destructor, I guess you could get a Vindicator tank. You could get a squad of Inceptors and a squad of Scouts. Hellblasters are supercharged, strength 8, -3, 2 damage. So you get 10 shots, strength 8, -3, 2 damage. Don't remind me, does the transport get the keywords from? If the Hellblasters are shooting out the transport, do they count as do they get their heavy bonus? And the assault bonus? Is that a thing? I don't know. I swear by rapid ingress Terminators, says Blood Buffalo. I'm kind of swearing like I'm rapid ingressing Dante plus 10 Sangre Guard. I think that's pretty good. Okay, Librarian Dreadnought here in this list is an interesting one. I guess he's got aggressors to teleport, and he's potentially got a squad of Terminators or Vanvets to teleport. I don't know if I feel like there's enough to validate the Librarian Dreadnought inclusion. Like, he's so many points. Like, if you're going to be including Librarian Dreadnought, you need to have, Phil said it, 6 Eradicators, for example. You need like a really nasty shooting unit or 2 that can be moved around, and you want to move around multiple times per game. If you're not doing that, I'm not entirely sure why you're spending 170 points on Librarian Dreadnought, because yes, he has a 2-up save, but he's not that survivable. A couple of last cannons can probably bring him down. It's not like he's a character. He's hard to hide. He's kind of slow. I mean, his smite is good. His melee is good. Yeah, I mean, he's a weird one. Like, you're probably paying a lot of points for his teleport and his combat and his shooting, but his movement's kind of slow and his survivability is kind of naff. So I feel like 2 really strong units is what you need. I mean, I don't hate the idea of teleporting flamer aggressors, but I don't think 3 are going to be impactful. 6 maybe. I also think that, like, you can, if you took heavy intercessors, teleporting them around onto an objective early game is pretty good. I guess you can teleport that squad of infiltrators. I guess you can teleport this 5-man squad of Vanvets. I'm not entirely sold on it. And a Terminator squad, Chaplain and Terminator armor with Artisan of War. I don't think that's the best way to run. Because the Chaplain and Terminator armor is going to give you a 4-up Feel No Pain against Psychic. No, he's not. He's going to give you That's a Captain in Terminator Armor, third time lucky. Chaplain in Terminator Armor is going to give you +1 to wound, I think, and a 4-up feel no pain against mortals. His AP 1, strength 6. The Librarian in Terminator Armor is the same AP, same strength, but D3 damage. He gives the whole squad sustained 1 in shooting and in melee. He gives you the 4-up feel no pain, but it's only against psychic rather than against mortals. So arguably the Chaplain's maybe a tad better there. But then he gets a sustained 1 on his focused Witchfire, which is actually really good. Like, his focused Witchfire is D6 shots. Strength 6, -2, D3 damage. Devastating wounds. And he gets sustained 1 because he's leading the unit on that. So I think, considering they're the same price, I think the Librarian Terminator Armor is a better pick. I don't think I would spend 20 points on Artisan of War for 1 more point of AP. I mean, Artisan of War? Is that, is Artisan of War melee only? I forget. Improve the AP character suits the bearer's weapons by 1. Okay, then I think Artisan of War on the Librarian might be good, because his smite would then become -3. So if you're dead set on giving Artisan of War to a Terminator, remember the Terminator already has a 2-up save, so you lose half the bonus of it. If that's what you want to spend your points on in enhancement, give it to Librarian, because, I mean, yes, you give up 1 attack in melee, but you get sustained 1 in shooting and in melee for the whole unit. I think sustained 1 on Terminators is probably better, because your Terminator's already strength 10. So I mean, unless you're fighting really, really nasty vehicles and stuff, then I think the sustained 1, it would be interesting to know actually, maybe that's a video I should make. Librarian in Terminator Armor versus Chaplain in Terminator Armor, which is better? Not always see those all that often, but I mean, I guess some people are running them, right? Don't build around the Librarian Dreadnought, says Blood Buffalo. Yeah, I think if you're going to build around it, you need to be, possibly be in Gladius. So yeah, I think I would probably put the Librarian Terminator Armor in, and I'd probably lose the Librarian Dreadnought. I might add, like, so the list I'm running has been doing pretty well. 2 squads of Jump Intercessors, 2 squads of Death Company, 2 squads of Outriders, and then the 10 Sanguinary Guards. So I kind of have like 6 minimum size units of combat, and then 1 10-man. So he kind of has 3. Yeah, I think I would probably lose Librarian Dreadnought. You have a Destructor. Destructors work really well in 2s. I might add the second Destructor. I'm not entirely sold on the Hellblaster with Impulsors. I might add like another 5-man squad of Death Company, 5-man squad of Jump Assault Intercessors. The thing that's nice about Jump Assault Intercessors and Outriders, which I'm playing both of, is they're both kind of units that can score. You know, they can move around quick and they can score. Outriders can obviously move 18. Jump Assault Intercessors can move 12. Oh, right, you want to bring it as but not the focus. Yeah, I just think that having played the Librarian Dreadnought a lot, and having taken it to the last GT I went to, I just don't think it's as good in Sons of Sanguinius as it is in Gladius. Good evening, Sanguinor. Nice for you to join us from the warp. Does the Incursor ability trigger from the firing deck 6 when inside an Impulsor? That's a good question, Varzidan. I doubt it. I don't think abilities trigger from inside. I think you would have to read the section about firing deck. I think it just says like that essentially what's happening in firing deck is the models that the weapons inside are attached. Yeah. Each time the transport shoots, select 1 weapon from X models embarked with a transport. The transport is being equipped with those weapons as well. So it doesn't say anything about the abilities. So I think that the firing deck does not... If you have a bonus like +1 to hit on other units from the firing deck. I don't think it stacks over. You just get to use their weapons. The thing I couldn't remember was if the weapon keywords come across. But it'd be much more likely the keywords come across than the than any abilities, right? The new missions could make Outriders valuable. Jason, I've been running them in my list now. I'm taking them to the GT. I'm taking 2 squads. I think they're valuable. I think they're totally valuable. I think they're 15 points more than Scouts, but they've got 2 more wounds and 1 more toughness and 1 more better armor save. Okay, Michael. I think I saw Michael in the chat earlier. Hello, Michael. He has double captain, so they'll probably be with assault intercessors in impulsors. He's got the captain with a jump pack, and he's got a chaplain with a jump pack. So there's your 2 squads of assault intercessors. There's your 2 impulsors. Okay. You have the 10 assault intercessors with jump packs. You've got double ball predator. So this is the meta list we're talking about. I made a video on this exact combo where it's like double captain, double assault intercessors, double impulsor, double ball predator. He's then got double brutalis, 5 death company with jump packs. I forgot what characters you had at this point. Oh, so you have a chaplain with a jump pack, so they'd be with the death company, and then you've got the captain with a jump pack, who's probably with that 10-man squad of assault intercessors. You get the 2 squads of outriders. You got the 2 predator destructors in there, and you've got the squad of scouts as well. Marius says, do you think if they made that 2+ with Librarian Dread to podium last tournament, you'd feel different? No. I don't think I would feel any different. He worked in my Gladius list, Marius, because my Gladius list had 6 aggressors with the captain and the biologists and the fire discipline, and it had 2 squads of eradicators, and I think I had a 3rd unit. And I had the heavy intercessors. So I basically had 4 Gravis units that I was going to teleport around every turn. And yes, you're right, on a 2-up in the final game, I would have probably podiumed at the GT. But I don't think it changes how I feel. I feel like you need those really powerful, durable shooting, because you're gonna put those units in harm's way, right? Like you're gonna teleport the eradicators 9 inches away from your enemy, or the aggressors 9 inches away, so they're the closest target, and blow something up, and then that unit's going to be totally exposed. So I'm not going to teleport a unit that needs to make a 9-inch charge, because we know 9-inch charges suck and are unreliable. So I think the Librarian Dreadnought is a weird one. In a way, although it's a Blood Angels unit, it synergizes much more with shooting units, because the second you teleport the shooting unit, they're going to do their damage, guaranteed. Whereas you teleport a jump unit, a 9-inch charge is less than 50% chance with a reroll, right? So this is an interesting list. You kind of have the double outriders and the scouts for your action monkeys. You know, there's 2 predator destructors to do long range killy, very good at killing infantry. You got 2 brutalis dreadnoughts, which I guess will be running down the center, very killy in melee. You got the 5 death company with the chaplain, which are good. I like the 5 death company with the chaplain. I actually run 2 squads of those in my list. I think they're very killy for the points you pay. You can throw them away. You don't need to worry about them. Fight on death. They're kind of great. You got the 2 ball predators to shut down infantry movement. You got the 2 impulsors to keep those assault intercessors with the captains alive, and then you've got a captain with 10 assault intercessors with jump packs. Honestly, in this list, I'd probably put those guys in strategic reserve and just bring them in with rapid ingress. Jump forward 12 inches, shoot a few plasma pistols, throw some grenades, and then do a mortal wound charge bomb, whatever you call those jump intercessors. I forget what. Hammer of Wrath, I think. Is that the name of the ability on the jump intercessors? I think it is. Assault intercessors with jump packs. Just call them jump intercessors already. Yeah, Hammer of Wrath. It's the old stratagem name. So this list has a lot going for it, actually. Possibly the one thing to be said is it doesn't have a ton of like melee units, and part of me thinks that maybe in this list you'd be better losing the Brutalis Dreadnoughts and adding more Death Company, more Vanguard Veterans, maybe lose some of this 10-man jump intercessors, and the captain that's with them get him attached to Vanguard vets or something. So I think the only improvement I'd probably try and do is something around these Brutalis Dreadnoughts, because I've played Brutalis Dreadnoughts, and I think they're hard to get. You're either going to have to rapid ingress them or reserve them, and if you're reserving them, you're trying to make a 9-inch charge. If you're running down the middle of the board, I guess you could Armor of Contempt them. I'm pretty sure Brutalis Dreadnoughts do not have smokescreen, though, unfortunately. So all you can do to try and keep them alive is Armor of Contempt. Yeah, they don't. For some reason, the new Dreadnought chassis, whatever you want to call it, the Redemptor Dreadnought chassis, does not have smoke launchers on it. So yeah, these guys are very, very good if you can tank shock and make it into combat. They can do like 12 mortal wounds, but maybe with all the other armor he's running, you know, like with 2 other Ball Predators, with 2 long-range Predators, with 2 Impulsors, maybe there's just threat overload in this list. A lot of armor, a lot of transports, they're all moving forward. The Outriders are stealing objectives. Maybe the Brutalises work. I think this is possibly a reasonably decent list. I would like to play it. I think the one thing I probably see is when I play it, I probably miss having quite as many jump guys as I have, because I guess my list has 30 jump guys in it, and this list has 5. So I feel like you probably would feel... Oh no, it's got 15. Okay, so it's got half. But I think jump and assault intercessors are like the lowest common denominator, right? They're like the worst of the jump marines. I would say it sort of goes Death Company or the pinnacle, Sangry Guard, or in terms of damage output, Sangry Guard are up there with Death Company, and then you've got Vanguard Veterans as sort of the most survivable as a third option. Most survivable, but still probably better than the jump intercessors for damage output. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, 360 points of Brutalis Dreadnoughts could add quite a lot. You know, you could get the second Death Company with a Chaplain, and you could have 100 points left over for a Vanguard Vet squad. So you could probably do that, and I think this list is still pretty good. I just don't know how I feel about 2 Brutalis Dreadnoughts. Having not run them myself, might be quite difficult to do. Aradine sent me in the Discord. Alright, I will make a video on that, Aradine. Thank you so much for sending it across. Mario says he was thinking about picking up some Blood Angels characters. Unfortunately, Librarian Dreadnought is not he's not a character anymore, Marius, and that's one of the things that makes it awkward. If he was a character and he could get Lookout Sir, then he might be more useful than he is, because he can't get Lookout Sir, he can get sniped, and he's not, like I said, he's not very survivable. Only has like 8 wounds and a 2-up save. So yeah, if the opponent has like a couple of Lancers or something, he's just dead flat out before he can really do anything, except he can hide. Yeah. If you want to pick up a character, pick up Dante, man. I've been doing Dante this week. I've been trying to get him to a state where I'm happy with him for the tournament, right? Where's my camera? So he needs to get 3 colours on him. So he's got a bunch more than 3 now. I mean, he's not anywhere near finished. But Dante's a badass character. He is very cool to paint right now. I'm surprised you haven't gone for him. So I was painting Dante yesterday. I'm actually filming this guy as a painting video. So, got lots to do on him. Hello, Stephen. Hello. Cool. Alright, next list by Obi-Wan Kenobi 93. We have a Chaplain with jump pack, Lieutenant with combi weapon. This is an Iron Storm list. Boo! No, it's fine. Iron Storm Blood Angels, I think, is actually possibly the strongest way to play Blood Angels. I guess we'll see if they're still strongest after the new chapter approved Pariah Nexus cards. If you missed it today, because I only remembered like later on today, because the new pre-orders are out. They are available in Element Games. So like the new card deck, there's only 2 left. They only have 2. They had 10 left an hour ago when I bought it an hour ago. Now they only have 2 left. So if you haven't got your chapter approved Pariah Nexus missions pre-ordered, there's an affiliate link in Element Games in my video description. Click that. get it ordered. Yeah, they had like, honestly, I ordered it just before I went live, so that was like maybe 30, 45 minutes ago, and it said 10 plus left when I bought it, so now it's down to 2. So, get it ordered. So we've got Iron Storm Spearhead, you've got a Chaplain, you've got a Lieutenant with Master of the Machine, you've got the Tech Marine with Adept of the Omnissiah, and you've got the Tech Marine with the Target Auguratory Web. So all these 3 enhancements are very, very good. One gives vehicles lethal hits, one lets you like auto pass 6 saves on vehicles, and then one lets vehicles fall back and shoot. Good luck finding it in the US. Did it sell out quick? Did it? Blood Buffalo pre-order on the GW website. I always pre-order on affiliates, man, because they're always cheaper. And I'm a cheapskate. Go figure. Apparently Scottish people are supposed to be very cheap, so that's me. Okay, so this is the Death Company with 5 Infernal Power Fists, cool. You got 2 Lancers in here. I think Lancers are very strong in Iron Storm, so that's cool. You got a Reaper. Personally, I don't really like the Reaper, but again, it's better in Iron Storm because you can get lethal hits and stuff like that. And there's a couple of stratagems that you can play on the Reaper to make it much better, I think, in Iron Storm, and it already has sustain 2 against infantry, so it can just make it even more obnoxious. You got our Predator Destructor, I love that. You got the 1 squad of infiltrators. You got triple Redemptor Dreadnoughts. I struggle when I play triple Redemptor Dreadnoughts. Those things have obnoxiously large base sizes. They get in each other's way, but I mean, they're very good, and they're even better in Iron Storm. And then you got the 1 squad of scouts. So your scoring unit is like 1 squad of scouts. I guess the lieutenant with the combi weapon is going to be a scoring unit. And then you've got the Calidus Assassin in there as well. I've won 1 RTT with this list, and he's taking it to GT. The 2 Tech Marines sit with the Redemptors all game, giving the buffs out. So I guess just giving the buffs out, I think he's missing a comma. Death Company just bully or create a roadblock. In 10 games, I've lost 1 Dreadnought. Play Armor of Contempt, tag some cover, and then don't die. Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised you've only lost 1 Dreadnought in 10 games, because I don't think these are that survivable. They have Armor of Contempt, sure. They have cover, sure. They have -1 damage, sure. But I feel like if you're playing like Eldar, and they hit you with a couple of D cannons, are Redemptors that survivable in Iron Storm? There is 1 strat that you get in Iron Storm that makes Dreadnoughts better. I forget what it is. I believe you can only play it on 1 Dreadnought a turn, because it's a weird strat that we've not really seen before. It's for like walkers. Iron Storm. It is this one, Ancient Fury. Play it in your command phase on 1 walker from your army. Until the end of the next command phase, improve your model's move, toughness, and leadership, and objective control by 1. So I guess you become movement 9, you become toughness 11, which I guess is kind of a break point. You become leadership. It's kind of irrelevant, I suppose, because you're never going to need battle shock. And your objective control goes up by 1. And you get to add 1 to your hit roll. I mean, it's a cool strat. If you've got a walker up front, you go to T11, you go to -1 damage, you tag some cover. Mario says he'd be curious to know where the Dreadnoughts go. Yeah, I mean, the Dreadnoughts kind of want to get into combat with their melee weapons, I would have thought. Iron Storm benefits greatly for having units both in combat and shooting, right? Because the Iron Storm detachment means every time you make an attack, you reroll, 1 hit, 1 wound, and 1 damage roll. You can reroll 1 hit, 1 wound, or 1 damage roll made by a model in that unit. So you can reroll the hits and wounds both phases, right? You can do it in the shooting phase, you can do it in the combat phase. So the Redemptor Dreadnoughts benefit quite a bit from this. Triple Redemptor, I guess if you're just running 3 Redemptors down the middle of the table, And you're going to armor contempt the first one they shoot at, and you're going to hopefully have cover. Yeah, maybe. And then after that, the second they start making a dreadnought, once they start hitting a dreadnought and making it low wounds, you're going to repair it. You're going to potentially make it toughness 11. Yeah, I mean, Ironstorm is the list that's... They've been winning tournaments. Sons of Sanguinius have not been winning so many tournaments. Ironstorm have been. It'd be Drukhari, Grey Knights, 2 Orc detachments, and Necrons, World Eaters, and Guards. So, like, he's beaten everything with this Ironstorm list. I know you're not a fan of Redemptors, but 3 in a moving castle has been horrific. There you go. He called me out and told me. I love Dreads, but with 3 of them are effective. 2 of them one-shot a Land Raider with a bit of lucky dice. Must have been lucky dice, because the plasma cannons only have strength 9 now, so you must have rolled a bunch of 5s to wound. Toby says it works better than you think. I have 3 Redemptors, man. Could I play this list? 3 Redemptors. I have a Destructor. I only have 1 Lancer. I do have 2 Tech Marines. I do have all the other stuff. Yeah, it's interesting to see that this does so well, because when Iron Hands did really well in previous editions, right? It was because Iron Hands had 6-up Feel No Pain against everything. That was just like all the time Iron Hands had a 6-up Feel No Pain. It was very strong. It was very good in their detachment, but they don't have anything like that. They have Armor of Contempt. They have, I guess, a way to get sustained hits 1 on a vehicle. They have a way to ignore some negative modifiers. They have the way to auto-explode. They do. Power of the Machine Spirit is a cool stratagem, actually. So basically, after the opponent has shot at you, if it reduced you below half strength for 1 CB, you can just shoot back. The interesting thing is, if he's got all those Tech Marines around, the second a single Redemptor drops below half strength, you pay 1 CP, you shoot the Redemptor back. The Redemptor has a lot of shots, and then you try and repair it back up against half, so if they profile it again, you can do the exact thing time over. Yeah, I'm not going to comment on how to improve an Ironstorm list, but I guess if you guys want to run Ironstorm, we occasionally run through Ironstorm lists on the channel. They do really well. It's kind of funny that I was going to say it's kind of funny they do so well with so few scoring units, but I guess they technically have 3 scoring units because they've got this untargetable lieutenant. The Tech Marines are kind of lone operatives as well, so if at any point a Tech Marine needs to bugger off and do his own thing, you can potentially do that. Ironstorm is strong. It's been strong. It's probably, I would guess, and I could be wrong here, but from the Space Marine Codex, the Ironstorm detachment is probably a detachment that's won the most tournaments. I think that's probably accurate. Oh, you get lethal hits as well. Yeah, of course you do. You get lethal hits. The issue is if they get all your Tech Marines, you're done for. But yeah, but your Tech Marines usually have lone operative, so it's not the end of the world. I'm considering running 3 Redemptors with Guilliman to get the extra Armor of Contempt, but that's a lot of character points with the Tech Marines. Yeah, but it's also a lot of killing. I guess 3 Redemptors doesn't kill too many vehicles, but it kills pretty much everything else, right? Like plasma cannons with, I think the Redemptor plasma cannon is like -4 EP if you overcharge it, right? So it's like, most of the time if you're just overcharging a Redemptor Dreadnought's plasma cannon, you're going to be killing some stuff. Where is it? Macroplasma, yeah. 3 damage. Average of 4.5 shots. So I guess if you have 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts and you shoot even a target that you can't get blast against, you get 4.5 on average per Redemptor, so 4.5 times 3. So you get 13.5 shots. Plasma, strength 9 -4. I mean, I still think it's pretty decent. I'm not running with Redemptors right now, but for whatever reason, I do have 3 of them. I think maybe I think Redemptors are too expensive, but maybe I've written them off because I think they're too expensive. They were one of the most expensive units as well. They got like a lot of play in 9th edition. They were like 175 points. They went up to like maybe even 190 points. But I always thought they were good in 9th edition. I think they are maybe better. Okay, Emerald Paladin is next. Hi, John. I had a list I was hoping you'd take a look at. First, I'd like to say that Sorry, I'm struggling tonight. First, I'd like to say that it's a list for an RTT that's relatively strict on WYSIWYG. Okay, when combining with what I actually own, that's a significant limiting factor. In any case, here's the list. Okay, so we've got Captain with a jump pack. We've got Librarian and Terminator Armor. I like this. This is what I said earlier in the stream I might like. Librarian and Terminator Armor with Artisan of War. The Smite is interesting to me. You've got Lieutenant, just a regular Lieutenant, not the combi weapon one. You've got the Sanguinary Priest and you've got Tech Marine. So you got Heavy Intercessors as your battle line. You've got 5 Assault Jump Pack guys. You've got 6 Blade Guard. You've got 3 Eradicators. You've got 3 Inceptors with Assault Bolters. I don't like taking Assault Bolters to tournaments. I did it, and then I played against Knights at one of the top tables, and my Assault Bolters did nothing. So I think if I was running Inceptors now, I'd probably run Plasmas, just because I think the Plasmas actually have a chance of doing something into Knights, whereas the Assault Bolters usually were tended to be underwhelming as well. You've got that Terminator squad with Chain Fists, a bunch of Power Fists. I think if you're running Sons of Sanguinius, which he is, I don't think you need the Chain Fists. I would just run the Power Fists. I think the Strength 10 Power Fists are good enough, especially with your sustained hits from your Chaplain. Oh, he did say he was running... sorry, he said he was struggling with WYSIWYG. Okay, Chain Fists is fine. You get 10 Vanguard Veterans, all with Storm Shields, Sergeant with an Infernal Pistol. You've got Brutalis Dreadnought with the Multi-Meltas. You've got Land Raider with, I guess, a standard Land Raider rode out, and you've got the Crusader. Okay, having played double Land Raider myself for a little while, I think it's too much of an investment for Blood Angels in transports. Especially if you're playing an army that can deal with transports. Like, I lost both Land Raiders in a turn on a live game on the battle report on my Wednesday night. It's Land Raiders are rough if the opponent has a lot of like AP 4 or 5. And I know that Games Workshop said that they were trying to make this edition less killy, but there's still enough AP 4 or 5 going around that makes Land Raiders tough to play. So running 2 of them is pretty tough. What's inside the Land Raiders, I guess? Eradicators, Blade Guard, Heavy Intercessors, maybe. See, I think Blade Guard work really well with the Judiciar. I mean, you could have attached Lieutenant there, or you could have attached the Captain, or both. But I like the Judiciar. I think it's my favourite. The Tech Marine with double Land Raider, maybe that makes Land Raiders a little bit better. If they can survive out a turn, you can repair maybe and keep them going. Like I said, I think the Brutalis is quite hard to play. You probably have to rapid ingress it, because you don't want to be making a 9-inch charge because it's just too unreliable. Blood Buffalo says, "Well, your local meta is so different to mine." I guess it just depends on what your friends are, what armies your friends have, or what they can play. My meta is usually people, well, like Andrew, who's like my biggest adversary. He just always takes what he perceives as the most powerful / meta thing. So if something's broken, Andrew will field it. So I always got to be ready for that. So, and Sisters of Battle are about to get their new book, and Andrew has a giant Sisters of Battle army. So I imagine if Sisters of Battle come out and they're really strong, we're gonna see Sisters back on the channel pretty soon. By the way, guys, if you're watching tonight and you haven't liked the stream yet, could you do that just so that people know the stream was out tonight? And remember, I did say at the start of the stream, tomorrow night, if for anyone tuning in a little bit late, we're gonna be live tomorrow night. That's not why we're live. That's why we're live tonight. So we're going to be live for Blood Angels versus Dark Angels around this time tomorrow night. So if you want to tune in and catch that, and it's James Gibb that's going to be on the channel. I'm sure a bunch of you know him. So cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're struggling to have a WYSIWYG list, this is okay. My opinion of 2 Land Raiders is it's too many. It's like too many eggs in the basket, right? I've tried running Land Raiders a lot. I think 1 is totally doable. I really dislike 2. I thought I won a couple of games when I ran 2 because I thought it was really strong, and it is strong if you come up against an enemy that's not good at killing toughness 12 2-up save vehicles. But if the enemy can deal with them, like they have a friggin' knight with a volcano cannon, then all of a sudden your Land Raiders are a liability, and they're just 250 points that's going to get killed in turn 1, and 250 points that's going to get killed by the same knight in turn 2, and there's nothing you can do about it. And Land Raiders won't kill that knight back because the knight has toughness 13. So, and Land Raiders are super difficult to hide as well, right? Like if the opponent has like a Castellan knight, how are you hiding a Land Raider? There's barely any pieces of terrain that it's going to be able to hide behind, right? Okay, so the rest of the stuff, like the Incinerators would be better with Plasmas, the Terminators are kind of okay, the Blade Guard would be better, I think, with the Judiciar. I like the Heavy Intercessors. The Sanguinary Priest with the Jump Pack probably works quite well with the Vanguard Veterans, but yeah, no Death Company in this list. I do always talk about Death Company being our most killy unit, the unit that can do the most killing for the points almost. And I think you need some Death Company probably. Ideally with Power Fists. The pistols aren't as important, but Power Fists for sure are important. Suppose you could get away with Thunderhammers. I don't run Death Company with Thunderhammers anymore, I guess because you had to give up the pistol, but I think Death Company with Thunderhammers would be okay. Most people have Death Company Marines with Thunderhammers, right? Because that's what was meta before, and it's not anymore. Okay. I guess the Tech Marine makes sense, trying to keep the Land Raiders alive, but I also don't really like the Crusader. I mean, I guess you've got a Crusader and you're having to run it, but the Crusader just has a boatload of bolters on it. I feel like bolters don't kill anything anymore. Bolter fire is not what it used. There was a time in 40k where bolter fire was meaningful. Now it's trickle damage at all.
Justin S. donated $5 via Super Chat. How do you think they'll chop up Sons in Sanguinius for the Blood Angels Codex? I can imagine Red Rampage going to a Death Company themed detachment.
Yeah, it's interesting actually, Justin. Thank you so much for the $5. I imagine there might be some sort of Death Company detachment, because in 9th edition we had that. Remember when each faction had individual missions? We had a season where like Blood Angels had really good missions for Death Company. I actually went to a tournament and it was like, one of the missions was like, kill units with Death Company, have Death Company units die, and I can't remember, I think there was a third condition there, so it was like, every time you killed a unit with a Death Company, or you killed 2 units with Death Company, you got 3 or 4 points, and every time a Death Company unit from your army died, you got a point. So there was a a season. I think it was near the Arcs of Omen season. Maybe it was like the penultimate season where they had that Death Company detachment. So yeah, there might be a Death Company detachment. I don't think they'll limit the fact you being allowed to take Death Company and all the other detachments. But maybe there will be a bit of a Death Company detachment type stuff. I'm hoping that we get some flexibility, right? Like, I don't want to see any shooting detachments. Blood Angels, while we can do shooting, I think all the shooting detachments are already there from Codex Space Marines, right? So I want to see, I mean, if Dark Angels is anything to go by, we'll get 3 detachments. So I want to see like a Death Company detachment. I probably want to see like a First Company detachment, like a Sanguinary Guard style detachment, but I sure as hell don't want the same First Company rules as once per game nonsense from the Space Marine Codex. I can't believe they've actually not changed that detachment, because it's so friggin' bad. It's unreal, right? Like, it makes zero sense why they've left it. Nobody is playing First Company. Like, what is it? Once per game you can use Oath of Moment and get reroll hits and wounds? Cool. Once per game. It's so bad. This detachment might have been good if this was just the whole game, right? Like, because some of the other stratagems that this detachment has, like the -1 damage to... I think it's got -1 damage to Terminators or something like that, right? And Vanguard Veterans or something. Yeah. So like -1 damage from Terminators, Blade Guard, and Van Vets. I mean, that sounds super cool. Just no one plays First Company. So I guess we'll see, but I really am hopeful that I'm really hopeful that we get 3 melee detachments, because we don't need another shooting one. And I hope that we just get some diversity. I want to see a stratagem to get additional AP, and I want to see a stratagem to get advance and charge. Like a really fast moving detachment, and also like a harder hitting detachment. That's probably things that I would like. Would making all vets battle line fix it? I think it just needs a detachment rule, Marius, right? Like, its detachment rule in First Company is once per game you can reroll wounds against your Oath of Moment target. Like, it just needs something. Would all the veterans be battle line? So all the veterans are OC2? Is that what you mean, basically? Because what battle line in and of itself doesn't really do much anymore, right? If all veterans were OC2, yeah, maybe that would, like, it doesn't. It just needs something. It just needs something to work for 4 out of the 5 turns. You know, like, we talk about these orcs that we're just fighting against, where they have like that double wag, where they've got a fucking 4-up feel no pain for half the game. This is once per game you get to reroll wounds against one single unit. Orcs get 4-up feel no pain for half the game. Battle line. Yeah, I mean, maybe that would help. Varison, if you submitted a gimmicky Dreadnought list, I'll pick it up next week. I usually get like somewhere between 5 and 10 submissions per week, so I don't manage to get everybody's list every week. But I do always look back at my comments and try and find it. So I do try not to miss anyone that submits an army list. But I suppose if you ever submit a list and it doesn't get looked at for a few weeks, you're happy to submit it again, because I'm just trawling through. I get a lot of YouTube comments. When I got to like 12,000 subscribers, I made the conscious choice of I am not answering comments anymore. Well, I do still answer comments, but I'm not answering all the comments. Because up until 12,000 subscribers, I answered every single comment on the channel. But like, some days I would literally spend 3 hours replying to comments. I do nothing but reply to comments. And I was like, I feel like at that point I felt like I've built my channel, so I can pick and choose comments. So sometimes now I just love heart the comments, which means I've read it, but haven't necessarily replied. Sometimes I've read them and I just don't comment back anymore. I don't love heart them, I guess. It just got too much. It was literally like 2 or 3 hours every day answering comments. And I'm live like twice a week, 3 times a week, every week. So if you've got something that's desperate to you can, you know, and I always answer. We're not. I was going to say we don't limit who can speak in the chat or anything like that. So make first company give wound rerolls to all veteran units, and once per game let you give it to all. Yeah, William, you're right. So first company does not get any play whatsoever. I never see anyone. I've never played against it. I've never played it. I've got, you know, everybody that's talked to me about first company says it's dog shit. No more love hearts. That's cold. Well, yeah, I mean, I was literally glued. Like me and my wife would be watching a movie or something. And I would just be sitting on my phone answering comments for like an hour, and like as quickly as I was writing the comments, there's more coming in, right? Like, so yes, I guess it's cold. Make a stream discussion chat in Discord. We could do that. We could do that as well. Okay, let's look at Michael's list. Thanks so much for the $2. So a new player immigrating from South Africa to the UK in the next 2 months would like to start Blood Angel's army once established. It might be a new good way to get some new friends. Probably is. This is my list, but I'll probably hold off to the new codexes out. You can probably buy all the Primaris stuff, but yeah, you might want to wait on Firstborn stuff till the new codex is out. I was talking about this the other night. I really think Games Workshop need to tell us, like, give us a roadmap of what the future looks like, because every friggin' stream people are like, I'm not buying this because I'm waiting, because I'm waiting, because I'm waiting. It's got to be hurting their sales. I don't know. I thought I might make a video on it. Because I do think occasionally people from games, like, I follow all the Games Workshop people on Twitter, and I speak to them sometimes on Twitter, and they do reply to me. So none of them speak to me, so to speak. But I do think they know that my channel's here, and I think they've probably seen a couple of videos from it. But I mean, I made that video about like jump packs, and that never happened, right? What was it called? Like Blood Angels Sell Us Jump Packs. Did it get a lot of views? I mean, it got 3,000 views. This video where I was like, please GW, just sell us Primaris jump packs. But you can't buy Primaris jump packs, right? Can you still buy the Firstborn ones? Uh-oh. But the Firstborn one's gone as well now. No more individual buying of jump packs. They're gone? They finally gone? Jump packs, jump packs. Because you used to be able to buy jump packs, right? So they stopped doing that, did they? I mean, here's the thing. Look, you can literally go over onto Element Game and you can buy Cromlech jump packs. $8 for 5 of them. These ones look pretty Space Marine, don't they? Legionary jump packs. Games. They took the Firstborn jump packs down. They're gone. No. Yeah, I guess they're gone if that's what people are charging for them now. Jesus Christ. Okay. I think these used to be about £6, right? But that's the thing. That's the thing, right? I made that video saying like, hey, Games Workshop, sell us these jump packs, please. Right? Please sell us Primaris jump packs. Well, because they didn't sell them, and because you guys in chat here are friggin' awesome, one of the guys from the channel literally sent me this. Look at this. Where's my camera? Look at all these. These are all 3D printed Primaris jump packs. I mean, I've got some on models and I've got them sprayed. I swear to God, I don't even know how if I can... Hold on, let me put the rest away. Yeah, what a sweetheart, exactly. But I guess my point is... if you do not sell them to me... It's like the Jurassic Park thing, right? Where there's a... life finds a way. If you'd sold me them, you would have probably made $50 from me buying Primaris jump packs. Because you didn't. I just moan about it in a stream and one of you guys is like, hey, one of you guys send me a Discord. Hey, John, I'm going to send you some Primaris jump packs for all the help you've given me on the channel. Yeah, I mean, it's great for me. I didn't have to pay anything. But at the same time, even if I didn't have the channel, I would just go to a third-party website and buy jump packs. I'm going to spend $40 or whatever. It's $40 for like 5 of those guys now, right? Games Workshop. Jump Intercessors. Not quite 40, sorry. $35 for 5 of these guys. You know, like, gone are the days when you would buy a squad of guys to take the jump packs and put them on another squad of models. That maybe worked when it was like £15. I'm not sure it works when it's 35. Ultramarines Legion dice have gone too, so get those Blood Angels Legion dice if you can still get them. No more making your assault intercessors into jump marines. Well, you can. You just need to go to Etsy. I use Cromlech as well. Cromlech are a German company. This website, Cromlech. Like if you search Shield, all my Vanguard veterans are using this shield. I'll show you one. So that's that Cromlech shield. Like, storm shields are like a few bucks each. $5 for $8.99. That's euros, by the way. So that's probably, if you're in the UK, probably about £7. I'm shooting my chance at GW sponsorship. I'm not getting GW sponsored, man. I use Wapedia every week. They don't acknowledge me. It's fine. Let's go back to the list. But yeah, I guess my point... Here's my point. I made the video saying, I will give you money if you sell me this. And I think the same thing applies. Like, I am not... A lot of people say that, like, I'm not buying a Vindicator tank. I'm not buying any more Predators. I'm not buying any more Firstborn models. I'm not buying any more... what else? Well, I'm not buying any more Forge World because that's all Legends. But yeah, I think that you get to a point where, like, because you don't like Centurions, I'm not buying any more Centurions potentially. Like, because you don't know how long these things have shelf life, you don't buy them. And I think if I knew, right, like if they came out and said, we like the Predator tank, we expect the Predator tank to be part of Warhammer 40,000 for the next 10 years. Do you not think sales would go up on the Predator tank? The Vindicator tank? Like, people are literally not buying this stuff because they're scared about the Primar. Like, every Firstborn model, as far as we know, or as far as history tells us, is Firstborn stuff is being phased out in favour for Primaris. But is anything Firstborn staying? We don't know, right? Like, we're just guessing. So I'm just saying that I would buy more. Well, one, buy more if they would sell me the things I actually want to buy. Like, I'd want to buy some Primaris jump packs because I have a lot of Primaris Marines. And I'm not going to pay $40 to get 5 jump packs, especially when I can get them on 3D printing websites for a third of the cost or something. And then the other thing is I'm not going to buy any more like Ball Predators is another good example, right? Like, I have 3 Ball Predators, but a bunch of people are like, I'm not buying Ball Predators because I'm waiting to see what happens, right? Okay, I got to wrap up the stream in this next 10 minutes, so let's finish this list. We've got Dante, we've got Chaplain with Jump Pack, we've got the Sanguinary Priest, we've got Tech Marine. We've got Tactical Squad. I really dislike Tactical Squads. I don't think they're worth the points you pay for them, but maybe there's a plan around them. And if you haven't bought the Tactical Squad yet, there's a risky proposition, because Tactical Squads are surely going the way of the dinosaur, because I think they're kind of garbage. I know Marius likes Tactical Squads. Maybe they're okay as Ultramarines, but they're really bad for Blood Angels. There's much better choices. Intercessors are a much better choice for Blood Angels, because every model gets an extra attack, and then that stacks with the +1 attack from our detachment and +2 strength, so Tactical Squads are a bad unit for Blood Angels. You got 2 squads of Eliminators, with the last fusel and the carbine. That's okay. You've got Vanguard Veterans, a 10-man squad. It's pretty decent. You've got 10 Assault Jump Intercessors. That's also decent. Another 10. And then 5 Death Company. That's good. Double Brutalis, a Ballistus, and a Redemptor Dreadnought. In and of themselves, all these Dreadnoughts are fine. 4 Dreadnoughts is interesting. So you've got Dante with the Priest and the Veterans. It's a pretty good squad, honestly. You got the Chaplain with the Death Company. You got the Tech Marine with the Ballistus, and possibly the Redemptor. The Tactical Squad will divide into 2. One squad on the home field objective. I prefer Infiltrators on the home field objective. The squad with the Laz and the Flamer to move to the center objective and provide fire support. I mean, Tactical Squads get eaten up pretty quickly. I don't know how strong I feel like a Tactical Squad moving to the center objective. There's better units. Company Heroes with a Captain is a much more durable unit, and even they die in the center objective. The Eliminators are to infiltrate onto some side field objectives. Arms with Laz Fusel, Strength 9 will do actions and provide support against Venoms, Raiders, Rhinos with their move, shoot, move to keep them safe. Infiltrators are a good scoring... Sorry, Eliminators are a good scoring unit. Move, shoot, move is not bad. Dante plus a Redemptor will move to the center. I would rather you should the squad Dante's with, the big squad of Van Vets and the Priest, they should be reserved. Pay 1 CP, bring them in 12 inches away, move 12 inches, make a guaranteed charge pretty much. Like, you just want to keep them off the board, keep them safe. The Assaults plus the Brutalis will be paired and move up the flanks. That's fine. The Tech Marine with the Ballistus will go to the center objective and provide support. I think the Ballistus Dreadnought is probably better hanging back a bit because it's got 48 inches. It doesn't necessarily need to be moving, but the +1 to hit is nice. And the Death Company will strategic reserve and deployed as required. I don't mind having both the Death Company and the Vanguard Veterans strategic reserved. I'm in my list at the moment. I'm every single game I'm going to be reserving 5 Jump Assault Intercessors, 5 Death Company, and the 10 Sanguinary Guard and Dante. And I'm going to take them to a GT, and I'm going to do that every single game. So I think you can have multiple units in reserve. I am going to have 3 every game. Because I think the Sanguinary Guard die too quickly, so they have to be rapid ingressed. The Little Man Death Company squad also die too quickly, so they also need to be rapid ingressed. And the Jump Assault Intercessors are the ones that will come in and make a risky 9-inch charge, I guess. My group have fun games where we say screw it and include Legends. Yeah, my friends just don't want to play Legends anymore. So I've actually bought one of those display cases from Wicked Brick. I don't know if you've noticed, if you've seen them. They've been on the GW website a couple of times now. So I've got one coming, and I'm going to make a display behind me near my Obey banner and put all my Legend stuff in, try and make it cool. Good evening, Adam. We're going to be live tomorrow night. Good evening, Serenade. The problem is the new missions change how you want to select troops. I think even with the change of selecting troops, I can't imagine tactical squads will be a good squad for Blood Angels. Just regular intercessors get one more attack. Heavy intercessors are barely any more points and get one more wound and one more toughness. And then assault intercessors get chain swords, which make them hella better for Blood Angels as well. So tactical squads for me, maybe they work for other chapters. It's sad. I've got like 5 10-man tactical squads, but I haven't run any of them in the last like 5 years, and nothing is going to change that. Mario says they're cool to paint. Yeah, I mean, tactical squads are the OG thing that started all of us off. But yeah. Ardene's got a whole bookshelf of legends. Yeah, I lost a lot of legend stuff that last edition, Ardene. I think I probably lost somewhere between like 3,000 or 4,000 points of painted stuff. It was pretty brutal, right? So hopefully I can make a cool video, and I didn't want to throw any of it away. I didn't really want to sell it because I spent so much time and effort on it, and it was all cohesive with my army. I mean, maybe the better thing to do would be, like, for example, take like my attack bikes and try. I've never bought any Invader ATVs, but I suppose I can Google what size of bases Invader ATVs are, mount my attack bikes on the right size bases, for example, and then maybe add some bits to them to try and convert them. I don't know. Adam's got a big game tomorrow against my 8-year-old. 15-year-old guard army versus my Blood Angels, preparing for a league game against Space Wolves on Thursday. Yeah, I've got Dark Angels tomorrow night, so that'll be interesting. The main issue I see is you could lose 20 VPs rather quickly if you run out of battle line. Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's going to be good that battle line are going to be more important. I think it's going to be good that 0 OC models can't do actions anymore. Oh, they don't have a base. Oh. Do you know what? Technically, attack bikes don't have a base. I put all my attack bikes on bases, man. Yeah. Yeah, alright, cool. So I'll see you guys tomorrow night, 7:30. We're playing Dark Angels. Yeah, sorry. The feedback on this list is don't buy Tactical Squad. Buy Infiltrators or Assault Intercessors, probably. Or Heavy Intercessors. Just anything but Tactical. They're not good for Blood Angels. And I guess be prepared, because he said he's waiting for the Codex. I think if the Codex comes, we might get Primaris Sangreguard. If we get Primaris Sangreguard, get yourself a Dante and get yourself Primaris Sangreguard. Here's the thing, right? I've been playing Dante now for about 5 weeks. I think by himself, right? Because, like, sometimes Dante comes in with the 10 Sangreguard, and the 10 Sangreguard die pretty quickly. But Dante usually is alive for at least a couple of turns, and typically by himself, the fact that he is Strength 9, with AP3 and with lethal hits and with 9 attacks, makes me think that for the most part Dante is pretty useful at just blending anything that's got 2 wounds. Dante usually ends up blending it. So out of the 9 attacks, I'm usually getting like 7 or 8 hits, and then I'm usually getting like 6 or 7 wounds. So I think on a couple of bad times it's been like 5. So Dante's typically going to make enemy elite infantry, I guess elite infantry, like for example Mega Nobs, toughness 6. They're going to take 5 saves at -3. So he's going to do very decent damage for just being by himself. I like the +1 to hit. I like the +1 to charge. It just adds some reliability. So hopefully tomorrow night Dante against Azrael for was going to say for an epic battle tomorrow night, 7:30. I'll see you guys there. It's James. I was going to say James wasn't in the chat tonight, but it's James. He's been on the channel before, so some of you guys will recognise him. He actually was here for a game against Dark Angels probably about a year ago. So Gabriel Seth is a better warrior than Dante. Yeah, but Gabriel Seth isn't chapter master, I guess. And he's got I don't want to say he's got a crap firstborn sculpt, but he doesn't have a cool Primaris sculpt, does he? And the new Dante sculpt is awesome. I was painting Dante because I'm going to be running him at the GT in like 3 weeks time, so he needed more than like 2 colours on him. And he's awesome to paint. I really like Dante. With actions to do missions, the battle shock is more important, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I guess Dante's battle shock would actually be more valuable as well. The -1 battle shock tests it makes people do, potentially, I suppose. Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like on the stream, and we'll see you next time.